Okay, what's up guys? So it's kind of where I'm at the moment. I know these are really tall. They're gonna get cut down because like I said, I didn't feel like leveling the ground. So I'm just putting these in place and then I'm gonna cut them in place. So this is kind of what I got going on right now. I didn't have any 12-foot 2x4s to make cross beams. So I just had to rip two boards in half with my skill saw and connect them, but they're up, they're plumbed. And so what I'm doing here is I'm working with clay soil, right? It's really hard to dig in. So here's one of my holes. And what I'm doing is I'm just using that 5-gallon Home Depot bucket, filling my holes with water, and then waiting till the water kind of makes its way through and going back and digging in there. And that actually makes it possible to dig in the clay. So 2 of these are up. I'm gonna do the back post over here next, and then I'm gonna put up the first beam because I just want everything connected as I go, you know. So cutting these is gonna be a little bit like, you know, you see a lot of that on like YouTube fail videos, right? Like a guy on a ladder cutting a tree branch and the tree branch falls and knocks him off the ladder and he's got a chainsaw, right? Super dangerous. So I don't want to be that guy, but I only have like 2 feet of this to cut or less off the top of these. This one a little bit more. So I don't know, I might take like a 2x4, you know, and like screw it down and then cut into it so that cut, you know, into the other side of the post towards the 2x4 so that when it's cut, it doesn't fall, you know, and then I can just like unscrew the 2x4 and hopefully just push the rest over just to be really safe, right? I'm on unlevel ground on a 12-foot ladder. I'll figure out the safest way to do it and film it. That way if I get hurt, y'all can learn from my mistakes. So let's keep going. So I was gonna do this with logs from the property for my post. And then I remembered my brother had some of this reclaimed lumber too, because we kind of got it together. And he's not gonna use it, so I offered to buy it from him this morning. I called him. And you know, for 40 bucks for a 20-foot beam, I'll take it. So they're under his yurt platform, so I gotta haul them all the way up there. It's a little bit of a chore, but luckily this, you know, these beams are so old, they're super dry, so I can handle them. I gotta take a rest, but I can handle them. All right, so I got this beam over here, or this is gonna be a post, and I just got it marked off right here. This is where I'm gonna cut it. This one's gonna be 10 foot because it's for the back left corner. So I'm gonna run the beam across the back first. And the back is going to be 8 feet back there, high. So I'm gonna cut this 10 feet because it's going 2 feet in the ground. All right, I cut it, it went pretty smooth. I just like cut really fast at the end. I so that it didn't pinch. And hey, you know, for me, that's a clean cut right there. So anywho, I dropped the camera before, so that's why it just is a little edit right to here. But yeah, I'm gonna go put it in the ground now. This is the end that I'm going to put underground. You know, I don't know if a poly coating is like recommended for going underground, but it's kind of all I have, and you know, I think it'll help seal it. Obviously, I'm going to let it dry before probably put it in there, but you know, I'm not gonna fuss. I mean, I know, like, or I don't know, but I've heard that for log cabins and things like that, people seal the bottom of the logs with the cut end with paraffin wax. And then my understanding is you're not supposed to seal or stain the logs until they've dried for some time. I don't know. Someone can correct me on that if they've built a log cabin. I never have. I've just heard that. YouTubers. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos of log cabin builds. So, you know, anyways, this lumber is obviously super dry. So we'll see. I figure, hey, it's better than nothing. And even if I didn't do this, I think this would last like, I don't know, it probably lasts like 50 years. And so, I mean, I'm graveling down there, sealing this. I was gonna do like cut logs, right, and burn them and see how well that worked, but I'll do this, and you know, in 20 years I'll let you guys know how it is. Now this is just to prep, because I'm working by myself, so I can walk the post over here, set it in this hole, and I've got this piece of wood that's attached to that stake I just put in, and I can screw this right in and stop it from falling over. Then I can plumb it and everything else. So yeah, it's the only way I can fathom to work with such big posts by yourself. So that's how I'm doing it. Yeah, pretty easy just to get in there by yourself like that. Now that's a 10-foot post, so I just have the one spike in the ground and the one piece of wood holding it up. These other ones over here that are 14 feet high, I had to use 2 or 3 of those rails, those spikes rather, in the ground to hold them up. So that's how roughly how high the back is going to be, which is about 8 feet. That might have to get cut down just a little bit, and then the front's going to be 12. So I'll have a 4-foot drop. Had a really hard time figuring out that math right there. And so that should be a pretty good pitch. Metal roof. I'm going to do log rafters from the property. You know, every 16 inches. They're going to be pretty beefy. I'm probably going to either put plywood on top of that, on top of the rafters, or I'm just going to run scrap 1x horizontally across them. Something, because you know, the mountains where I'm at in the Pacific Northwest, we get snow here. We get a lot of snow, right? But it's not the same as the north, like Alaska and stuff, where in Montana and northern Idaho and like whatever, Wisconsin and places like that, right? Like the snow here isn't dry every year. Sometimes it is. Sometimes all winter long, it's, you know, 10 degrees or below Fahrenheit all winter, and so you'll just get fluffy snow. And that's what I found is like about, you know, 10 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit and lower, snow is just dry powder. Once you get to 10 degrees or lower Fahrenheit, snow doesn't even really stick to your clothes. So you can you can stomach a lot more snow on your roof before you get worried, right? But here we can get snow, like 2 feet of snow overnight, and it'll be, you know, whatever, 25 degrees overnight, and the next day it'll be 35 degrees and raining. So your snow load needs to be legit, right? And that's why the pitch of my roof is so steep, is because I just don't even want to worry about the snow being on my roof, right? And so for more context about the snow, even though my roof is a 12-12 pitch, because of the texture of the snow, right? Because of the change in temperature, how we can have a lot of snow and it be above freezing, I've seen 3 feet of snow on that roof, and it's a 12-12 pitch. When the snow is dry, I mean 6 inches, and it starts sliding off. You shut the front door and the snow will come off the roof when it's real dry powder. So it is a lot different. Everything up here needs to have a serious snow load. I would never do a cabin like other YouTubers have done, where they're using furring strips that are 1x1s that go across their rafters. I would never do that up here. I have purlins, similar, but mine are 2x6s, and they're 16-inch on center. I have 26 gauge metal on top of that. I don't know what other people use. I think 26 gauge is probably pretty standard, but it's not the Home Depot crap. So anyways, even though it's just a firewood shed, the snow load, it needs to be there. So it's going to be plywood on top of the rafters. I mean, OSB or something of that nature. Let's keep ripping. Okay, so this is kind of what I've got so far. And the reason I'm not really like filming myself working is because in the process of doing this YouTube channel, I'm learning that I don't really like that type of that filming. I mean, I like watching YouTube channels where there's like a lot of really good editing, and like I kind of put one in here earlier, right, where I'm walking by with the beam, and it's such a tremendous waste of time, right? Because that beam's really heavy. It's hard on my shoulder, and I have to like set it down and move the camera and like act like to make it look like something it's not, right? Like, this is my real life. I live off-grid 100% of the time. I don't have, this isn't a vacation home for me. I've got a full-time job. My wife's not here, and my 2 boys are here, and I'm doing this by myself. So I don't really have time to film that way. And I'm not talking bad about people who do. I'm just saying, like, because I like to watch those types of channels where it's especially the bushcraft ones where the person is it's almost like the whole thing is like the person never looks at the camera, and it's like they don't say anything. And I love that editing. I just don't have the time for it. So we're just jumping right into what I've been doing. So I'm not an engineer, and I just do everything myself. So, you know, don't take my advice, but I'm fairly sure that those 45s that I put here on each corner, I'm fairly sure that that's shear. Going this way, right? So right now it's really easy to move that this way, like towards me and behind me, but it's like you can't move it back and forth. And so once I get the other side done and I do 45s coming this way, it should be really, really strong. And then I'll put the rafters on it, and you know, I'll have probably either 2x6s or 2x8s running across all these two to, you know, add more. I guess that's probably shear too. So this is what I've got so far. It's looking pretty cool. I'm really happy with it. You know, I've got these 4 beams, 40 bucks a beam, and then I'm using logs from the property, and I've already got my roofing. I paid 100 bucks for it. I mean, this thing is going to be huge, and I've got like almost no money into it. So yeah, and I just got this these 45s here tied off with 3/4 inch plywood with screws. Now I think that's okay. I might do this. I might take these lags. I think these are 12-inch lags or 10-inch lags, and I might go straight up through those 45s, and then this way too on each one. I'm not sure. I kind of think I need to just pre-drill through and actually use a bolt with nuts and washers, because I just don't think screws are strong enough, because I think that's load. I think those 45s are load. Hopefully someone corrects me. I don't know if they're load or if it's shear or if those are the same. but I think it needs more than screws. I think it at least needs probably nails in that 3/4 that's tied in. So at the very least, I'm going to put 16D nails in there. For obvious reasons, I use screws because I'm doing all this by myself. It's a lot easier to hang it up with screws than it is like to hold a nail gun and that 45 beam at the same time. So either way, I've got bolts that are this big too. So I might do that. Whatever, I think probably the bolts. Yeah, so I'll see you guys whenever I do the next part and start going again. So I got this other part done up here and the back, and I changed I'm in a different set of clothes now because I just got so beat from doing all this in the sun. I don't know how hot it is. It's like high 80s, and I hate the heat. I love the cold weather, so it's tough for me. I'm super tired. It's like 4:30. I've been going since 7:30, so it's been a lot of work, and I just had to go inside and just take a shower and change my clothes because I was just covered in dirt and sweat and mud. So yeah, I've got this going on. I'm gonna keep going, even though I just took a shower and everything. I'm just gonna take another one later before bed, because I want to get the 45s on the front, and I want to get the first 2 rafters up, one on each end, and I want to get the 45s on going the other way on each side, and then I'll feel like it's safe. It's not gonna fall on a kid or a dog. So let's do that. Okay, so this is where I'm gonna leave off. I think it turned out pretty awesome. Not bad for a day's work, dealing with the boys at the same time. I threw a log up as a first rafter. Not happy with it. I don't know what's going on with my camera here. There it goes. It's a little fuzzy. You know, I want some more eave, so I don't know what's going on there. I mean, it's tying it all together for now, so I'm just gonna live with it. But yeah, here, let's go. We'll just turn around and yeah, just take a look at it from a different angle. It's pretty cool. I definitely like building stuff like this way, like kind of pole barn style, I guess is what you'd call that. I don't really like digging holes and putting stuff in it. It's a lot better to have like a concrete pad, but you know, this is just a firewood shed, so it worked. And yeah, this is awesome. I'm probably going to do the rafters and do the roof tomorrow. And then, you know, all my firewood is like this pile right here and that one over there. They're just, they need to sit in the sun and bake in the sun. So I'm not gonna side this thing anytime soon. I'll just probably hang out under it and use it for shade and stuff until, you know, September, until it starts raining. So yeah, redneck heathen out. Peace.